Okay, welcome back to One Piece Anime Re-Review Part 22C. This is covering episode 362 370. Definitely these episodes we're getting the start of the wrap-up of this particular arc. First episode sees Zoro versus Raito. He's the samurai he was started fighting the previous episode. Here, fight ends. Though they do actually cut back 5 minutes prior to the ending of the last episode, where we pretty much almost get full detail of their fight, and eventually it looked like though Brooke thinks that Frankie thinks that Zoro lost, but he actually won because he used a special dragon move to basically burn the samurai's corpse, and he got the sword as a prize. Yep. Also, thanks to defeating the samurai, Brooke gets the shadow back, and he says, "First time in 5 years I've had a shadow." Like, okay. Well, with the samurai defeated, all that's left are just Absalom and Dr. Hogback. Absalom, well, he basically takes Nami away from Sanji, and he tries to marry a different place, and doesn't work out too well. He got interrupted once by the bat because somebody special arrived in the aisle, get to him. And then, of course, well, Nami wakes up when Absalom tries to kiss her, and then, of course, she proceeds to, well, and then we see Lola's finally showed up again. Yes, the hog. I will get more Lola in a minute. And then Nami, after Lola's taken out by Absalom because he kept interfering with his wedding, Nami's like, screw you, and proceeds to fry him with freaking lightning. Strikes him twice. And that's it for him. Lola apparently supposedly dies, the hog version. And well, that's it for Absalom here. Now, in the case of Penra, well, she's like, well, after she got defeated by Usopp, is like, screw this place, I'm going. So, she and her group decide to pack up, take the treasure with them with all food, put on the Straw Hat ship, and then a surprise appearance by, and this is a shocker, Bothai Makuma, one of the warlords of the sea, shows up, sends a couple of the zombies away, and he comes across Pendra, and she was defiant him. So he goes, where would you like to go on vacation? And he just uses his paw power. Yeah, that's the first time we see it. And he sends Petra away. Where does she end up, mind you? She ends up on the island, basically where Hawkeye Mihawk lives. Don't worry, she will return in the Friend Separation Syria, which also, when just prior to that and prior to that particular arc, actually 2 arcs prior to that one, he will return. And so Kuma decides to talk to Gekko Moria. Gekko Moria, a lot of these first half of these episodes, he's just running around the island. Luffy chasing. Eventually, he gets away from him somehow, and he talks to Kuma. And Kuma basically debriefs him that Crocodile's been replaced. And Gekko Moria is like, who's replaced him? A pirate by the name of Edward Teach, otherwise known as Blackbeard. And Gekko was like, never. You're right. Of course, he mentioned he probably never heard of him. And well, yeah, he was right. He never heard of him before. What was his bounty? And according to Kuma, it says 0. Like, okay, virtual rookie. And well, he also basically threatens to send him away if he doesn't listen to him. He also basically decides to sit in the sidelines because this is where Gekko Moria finally does something. So, after talking to Kuma, of course, he thinks that he's actually insulting him because I think he's scared. Somehow he climbs inside of Oars. It's never actually how he gets inside there. And he got his own cockpit. Oars is like, Master Moore, where are you? Oh, there you are. Like, oh. And then, of course, he's beginning the fight between the Straw Hats and, well, minus Luffy and Nami against Oars. Nami does see Kuma, but Kuma basically asks first if he's related to Ace. And so, yeah, Ace is Luffy's big brother, his older brother. It's like, I'll keep that in mind. So, yeah, and of course Nami basically is upset that Pentra tried to take her ship, but luckily enough, before that when she escapes, like, time to find the treasure, and she just come across the zombie version of the Risky Brothers. The actual ones do show up in the episode. So she pretty much just goes on her ship and, well, at the end of the way, she apparently changed clothes off screen where she wears Pinterest Jolly Roger. Yep. As for Luffy, after wandering on the island, he comes across the actual Lola, the real one, not the zombie one, the real one. And she has a recurring thing where she randomly proposes to a whole bunch of people, even than Luffy several times. So, okay, we need help to beat Moria, so stuff him with frickin' shadows. Like, first they stuff with one, and apparently he has some swordsman skills, and then they proceed to stuff 100 shadows in his body. Make him look about the size of Frankie, and then he just hops away. In the case of the Straw Hats, they try various things. Of course, Usopp tries assault on him. The small amount of assault doesn't work on him. You need a really big one. Brook, meanwhile, who looked like he was injured, he somehow stumbled his way into the kitchen. Somehow found a bottle of milk, though he says, oh, it's expired. Oh, crap. It just barely expired. Like, okay. And he's like partially restored to normal. Of course, he explained, and of course, Usopp like, Calcium doesn't work like that. Probably for him it does. Of course, works for him and Luffy later on Whole Cake. And he brought along a big burlap sack of salt. And they do various things try to beat him. Like, they try to shove Frankie at him. Doesn't really work. They even chop a freaking building on him. That doesn't work either. Yep. And then Nami shows up, shocks Oars. And at this point, you have most of the Straw Hats here, minus Luffy. Yep, minus Luffy. And that's it. That's all that literally happens in these episodes. Oars, meanwhile, he at first acted like Luffy, then all of a sudden he stops acting like him, even though he still has some of his traits. And he does, and of course, I should all talk about this really weird moment where, yeah, time for do Straw Hat docking, where we have Usopp on the right arm, Chopper on the head, Zoro and Sanji on the legs. And then it's like, oh, Robin, hook up, dock us. And she's like, no, I'm not embarrassing myself like that. Even Zoro found it embarrassing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, also, you get a chance to use his sword for the first time. Oh, and fun fact about the sword he uses, which he got from the samurai. He's actually had this sword for a long time after this. He actually stops using it with the current arc Wano when it was taken away from him. Yeah, so he used it for a long time. Despite the fact when he meets up with Kinemon and Punk Hazard, he actually mistakenly thinks that he basically went to Wano and robbed and basically accused him of a grave robber. And Zoro's like, no, this is given to me. And it's a pretty powerful blade too. Yep. That's pretty much it. The hell has happened in these episodes. Yep, set up for the very end. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. My next review will be a Comic Corner. Now you're probably thinking, why is this only about 9 minutes? Well, basically what we discussed, that's all that literally happened in these episodes. Oh, almost forgot. Dr. Hogback. Okay, Oars basically came back, and then he, as in the case of of Hogback and Century, thanks to my Century's backstory, where she was an actress, and Hogback was infatuated with her. Then he tried to propose to her, but she was already engaged. Then she died in an accident. There could be a possible theory he was involved with the accident, but never really stated upon because, well, sure, zombies like taking, as for in the case of the zombies having Zoro and Sanji's shadow, they proceed to fall out the window and fight each other. Just like Zoro and Sanji constantly fight each other. As in the case of Hogback, he basically is suplexed by Chopper, and then Oars comes in and stomps on Hogback. And that's the last you see him in the whole arc. I think he shows up in the next episodes, but yeah, that's it for him for a bit. Absalom, oh boy, this guy. Like, as far as I know, he does show up in the next episodes, but as soon as this arc wraps up, he has never seen the series again for a long time. Like, oh my gosh, it's such a long time before you finally see the guy again. He doesn't finally return into the Wano arc, believe it or not. Yeah, where he apparently got killed by the Blackbeard pirates. Yet the Black Pirates killed him for his Terror Fruit power. The clear through. Yep. But we'll discuss more about what happened to the rest of them later, okay? So yeah, that's it for this single review. My next video will be a Comic Corner. And also I'm going to do Black Clover today as well, because, well, new episode came out today, so why not do a review for it? And the only other thing I'm going to do is more One Piece. Or I'm going to be going through the rest of this particular arc, okay? But see you in the next video. Bye.